Good afternoon, Tiegerman parents, families, friends, and of course to our beloved students if you're watching, greetings. My name is Dr. Jeremy Tiegerman. I am the director of Tiegerman Schools. I'm coming to you today from my office. Let me just check here. Today is Friday, June 5th, 2020, and it is the next video in a series of videos called the State of the Union. I want to start off by just thanking all of you for all of your feedback. As I always say, I appreciate the good stuff. And if we get the bad stuff, that's okay. We know we can do better. So please forward all of your questions, comments, concerns to me here at social@tiegerman.org. If there's a specific issue regarding your child's educational programming, please forward your questions, comments, and concerns to your building principal, your child's building principal. As of today, we are completing unbelievable 11 weeks of remote learning and 9.5 weeks of teletherapy. We did this together. Please, a big, big thanks to all the parents, families, students, and staff. It wasn't perfect, and we're getting better at it, but I think we're doing a real great job. So kudos and congratulations to all on working together on remote learning and teletherapy. We're doing a great job. I want to, as I always do, thank the frontline and essential workers. You are putting your lives on the line. You are doing such courageous work. We appreciate all that you do. You're allowing us to stay home and stay safe. Thank you. Every week, I try to inform our families, our students, our staff on important things going on in the Tiegerman community, as well as what's going on educationally, instructionally in our school buildings. And I try to keep it lighthearted. You know me, I like to tell jokes, sometimes at my own expense with shaving my hair off. So I try to keep it, very, very fun and because we all need some good times during these challenging times when we've been dealing with the COVID situation. But some recent events have transpired that I believe are so very important that we acknowledge and that I address. So let me just start by saying, at Tiegerman, we pride our agency as a diverse and an inclusive learning community. The events currently going on across our nation remind us that there's still a great deal more work to do. It is important that we communicate and listen to each other. We must stand together and do everything in our power to ensure our communities make the progress we believe is necessary for our students and our individuals that we serve to thrive going forward. Several days ago, our agency put out a statement in response to the events transpiring in our nation today. I'm going to read it to you to remind our entire community of what we have stood for since our inception. Since 1985, the Tiegerman mission of teaching the extraordinary reflects the organization's goal to substantively transform the lives of individuals with developmental disabilities from preschool throughout adulthood. While we will never waver in our mission of teaching the extraordinary, Tiegerman wants to reinforce to our entire learning community that we have and we will, in the coming days and weeks, speak to our students and to our staff about the importance of acceptance, respect, and responsibility. Intolerance and anger are never tolerated and have never and will never have a place in our learning community. We are proud of the accomplishments of our Tiegerman students and individuals and staff, and stand alongside all of them to ensure that our extraordinary work, and we believe strongly in this, we do extraordinary work, that it is on display for local, national, and the global communities to see. I want us to shine. I want them to see what we do. We be a model for the world. I want to reiterate that it is imperative that we communicate and listen to each other. What we communicate to each other and what steps we all take will not always be the same for everyone. This is going to be okay. It is okay that it's different. As long as we all try to accomplish the same goal of doing our part to help our society grow, it will be okay. We will be speaking to the students about the events occurring in our nation this week, and we will be forwarding to all of our parents and families resources today, should you choose to address the topics at home with your child. Also, should you have a specific concern regarding your child and these recent events, I encourage you, please reach out to us. Reach out to building administration in your child's building and voice your questions and concerns and let them know that you have these concerns, and we will collectively work together to determine the best course of action and how to move forward. Okay, that was very, very important, but back to some reminders and updates. This will not be the last time we talk about this. And I have some ideas going forward about how we will continue to engage in this conversation, because this will not be a one-day kind of conversation. This will be an ongoing, everyday kind of conversation that we have at Tiegerman. So I will share my thoughts and feelings about it in the weeks to come. And if you have thoughts and feelings about having further conversations and ideas on how we could do that effectively, please feel free to reach out to me, social@tiegerman.org. Just a reminder, as I've said to you over the last couple of weeks, at this point in time, the last day of school for all Tiegerman schools is Friday, June 26th. And summer session is scheduled for Monday, July 6th through Friday, August 14th. This is for all students in Tiegerman schools, except for our UPK students. They will be graduating and leaving on Friday, June 26th. As I said to you also over the last couple of times, summer session from Monday, July 6th through Friday, August 14th will be in remote learning world. It will not be in the physical spaces in our buildings. Okay, so we plan to have remote learning over the summer. It is so very important. Please make sure that you and your children are participating. Another item on the agenda relates to parent and family phone calls. Not the first time we're talking about this, but we have gotten feedback from families, and I've heard from my staff about concerns about it. I recognize that at times receiving these phone calls can be burdensome and overwhelming. I understand this, and I apologize, so I'm really sorry. I want all of our families to understand that we have to touch base to take attendance. We have to. And I've worked with our buildings to try to reduce the number of phone calls to the best of our ability. If email or other methods of communication work better for you, we understand and we'll work with you. Please let somebody know in your child's building, and we'll be flexible with you. We'll work with you. So please let somebody know. But we have to, I'm sorry if it's overwhelming, we have to communicate with you on a daily basis. I mentioned over the last couple of video sessions, transition plans. Nothing majorly new. To update you, a couple of small points that I want to point out to you, the new kind of updates there, but I'll reiterate what I said to you last time. Dr. Tiegerman has charged me with the responsibility of ensuring that all buildings are ready when we get the go-ahead to open. Each principal has been directed by me to establish a task force in their building to review their plans and to create policy, timelines, and professional development presentations for their staff. In addition to this arduous task, we've thrown more on your principal's plate. This week, the principals have been tasked with creating several different kinds of plans of transition. And we are not alone in this. So recently, the state education department and many local school districts across the state have been tasked with creating multiple plans of transition because we still don't know what that transition will look like in September. So they're looking for plans to help determine what school will look like when we return. And there are several kinds of paths to this return. Plan A relates to transitioning fully back to school in September, talking about the PPE requirements in every building, the sanitizing requirements, the social distancing requirements, the instructional requirements in the building if 100% of students and staff return in September. It's a pretty arduous task, but we've already started this process. So I think that we're pretty close to having a complete plan there. Plan B is remote instruction. We've already been in this world. So we'll be updating our remote learning plans slightly should we have to submit them to the state for review. And that is in case in September, we have to remain open. Remain open in remote learning. We will have a remote learning plan. Plan C is the major work and lifting now that we're doing because it really wasn't on our radar, but it is a new idea that's been gaining some steam recently statewide in educational circles. And this plan relates to population density reduction plans. And what this means is that should we be required to open in September, schools may need to have half of the student population and here's just an example, on Monday, report to school, and half of the student population remain at home in remote learning on that particular day. And then the following day, those students would flip-flop. So I know that I'm not sure if you're thinking that this is a pretty arduous task, but it's highly complicated, and trying to create a plan at this point in time could make your head spin, but that's why we have to start now. So we are trying to balance all of these plans and trying to make sure that they are ready to be submitted by the beginning of July. So we will keep you posted. If we hear anything about what school, when we are ordered to open, will look like in September, we will let you know. But there are 3 plans. Just to reiterate again, returning to full capacity in September with very, very outlined, detailed transition plans regarding sanitizing, social distancing, instructional policy within a self-contained classroom with teachers coming to students, no tremendous mass gatherings in a school building. We talked about that. That is plan A. Plan B is remote learning. We've been in that with teletherapy. We've been in that, we know it. Very easily we can continue on that path. And then plan C is this new model, which is a population density reduction plan, a blended program where some students would be in the building, some students would be at home, and alternating days to reduce the number of people in the building at once. Okay, we'll keep you posted about that, and I'll let you know should we have any information that we have to share with you. Next, I'd like to praise our PTFA, our wonderful PTFA. You should have received notifications from them recently. They're always doing so many wonderful things for the school and for our students. They've been stepping up recently, trying to support all Tiegerman families and their needs during the COVID crisis. They should have received some notifications from them recently about this. They've received some interest back, but in speaking to the PTFA presidents, they indicated to me that they feel like more families may still be out there. So the PTFA presidents have tasked me with asking you, all of you, that should you have not reached out to And I'll tell you who you can reach out to. You could reach out to PTFA presidents. You could reach out to your building administrators. You could reach out to Toya Davis. Toya Davis, we love Toya. She's waiting for your phone calls and your communications. I'm not sure she wants me to share her cell phone with all of you, but here we go. 516-315-6715. Toya, here come the phone calls, even if it's not for COVID-related things. So she'll be waiting for your phone call, and also her email, tdavis@tiegerman.org. So here are the various routes you can go. Should you feel that you need some additional support, please reach out to one of these avenues of communication that I share with you to let somebody know, okay? But the PTFA wants me to let you know that we want you to reach out ASAP, okay, as soon as possible, so that they can complete their lists and move forward by next week, okay? Last week I told you that we were starting a new segment of the State of the Union, building updates, and the principals had forwarded to me some updates on things. Some of these things are reminders and refreshers to all of you from last week, but here goes. Glen Cove Preschool and Elementary School, from the wonderful Karen Katzman. She and her building teams are working on summer programming now, virtual field trips, talent show. Just a reminder, preschool graduation for 4-year-olds is June 24th and June 25th for UPK. Look out for specific instructions and reminders from Karen Katzman and her building team on these events and ceremonies. The middle school in Glen Cove, overseen by the wonderful Kristen Lyons. She wants me to remind all of you that graduation for our 8th graders is June 23rd at 10 a.m. So please look out for instructions and directions on how to participate in that, should you be wanting to participate in the graduation ceremony. She's continuing to work on virtual field day, a dance-a-thon, Spirit Week, Alumni Day, and an art show. The high school in Richmond Hill, overseen by, again, another wonderful administrator, Miss Lauren Leonardi. She informs me that I am to inform all of you that on Friday, June 19th, they're going to be in the high school having Alumni Day and a virtual fashion show. It's the virtual fashion night, my apologies. Thursday, June 25th. Virtual prom and my apologies. Thursday, June 25th is virtual prom, and Friday, June 26th is virtual graduation. Hopefully I did not confuse you too much on my dates. Please look out for these instructions and directions and notifications on these very important dates and ceremonies. Tiegerman School at Woodside, continuing to work on virtual activities, and they will inform you as they get closer to these events and ceremonies on the dates and instructions on how to participate in them. Development Department, Jamae Crowder wanted me to just thank all of our parents and families and students and staff that participated in the bingo family night that took place last evening. And we will be hosting another bingo event this Sunday, June 7th at 3 p.m. Please look out for instructions from the Development Department on how to sign up. So I just wanted to thank all of our parents, families, and friends, and also for our students that are watching for viewing this segment of it. And I'm very, very excited to be welcoming another guest to Tiegerman Goes Live. This is going to be very groundbreaking, exciting times, because this special student will be our first student interview for Tiegerman Times Live. We're very excited to have her, and I hope that you are excited to have her as well. And we're excited to hear about what her experience and life has been during COVID times, during the pandemic, as well as what her experience has been in the remote learning world and dealing with teletherapy. So I'm going to bring her on in. Hold on. Hopefully I could do that without too much difficulty? All right, so I was able to connect with this fabulous student, and as I mentioned before, we're so very honored to have her, and this is a big deal. This particular student's going to be our first interview on Tiegerman Times Goes Live, so we're just very happy. I know she's very busy studying hard with her schoolwork, but we're very just thankful that she and her parents and family allowed us to have a couple of minutes of her time during the school day, because I think it's important that for our Tiegerman community that we hear from staff, we hear from parents, and we also hear from our students, because we're a family. We need to know how everyone's doing, okay? So thank you again for joining us today. And my first question to you is, what is your name and what grade are you in at Tiegerman?
All right, my name is Josephine Erlenbach. I am in the 8th grade in Tiegerman Middle School.
Josie, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it. And I know that all of our students are excited to see you, especially the middle school students. They're excited to see you there today. We know we have not been in school for a while, right? So it's been a while. Friday, March 13th. It seems like such a long time. What has school been like for you since that time?
Honestly, it's been really stressful. It's been online, and I'm not really good with technology.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been really missing my friends, and the only time I really get to see them is online on a Zoom meeting. And I really miss seeing them in person.
I agree with you. I think that for all of us, it's been an adjustment. And while we may have gotten a little bit better at being able to handle or get through the Google Classroom and the teletherapy thing, really what we miss most is being close to our friends, right? Our teachers. And while we could see them on a screen, it's definitely different. The next question, I assume I know the answer because you already shared it, but what type of school do you prefer? A remote school or being back in the school building?
In the school building, because I get to see my friends in person. I miss having their normal schedule with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get to ride the bus at 6 and ride to school with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I miss seeing my teachers.
I agree. So this next question kind of goes into what you talked about, and you could repeat yourself if you want to, but you could also tell me if there's anything else that you miss about school. But besides seeing your friends, is there anything else that you miss about school?
Drama club I signed up for, and playing Mr. Mamina's word wall games and learning games for when we have a test coming up.
Mm-hmm.
I miss being with my classmates and doing different teams, and I really miss it.
Yeah, so these are really fun, engaging activities in the school building that bring us together and help us socialize and learn. So I agree. Let's see if Mr. Mamina can put on his thinking cap and see if we can maybe do that virtually. I know that we prefer to do it back in the building, but these games are fun. I remember him showing me some of his games on the Promethean board that he used to do. When you're not doing schoolwork, and I know that you're super busy, you're such a hard worker, you try to do the best you can, but we can't always do work, right? And we're at home. So when you're not doing schoolwork, what have you been doing to keep yourself busy at home, or what kinds of things have you been doing to have fun at home?
I've been doing art, spending more time with my family, my dogs, and watching TV.
These are all super fabulous things. And I know that I agree with you. I definitely have been spending a lot more time with my family. And before this whole thing, because I was working so hard, I can't remember, really sitting down every single night and having dinner with my family on a regular basis. And I've been doing it every night. It's an unbelievable thing. So it's really allowed us to connect with our family. And that's really important. So that's a great thing about that. All right, here's my last question for you, Josie. You're doing a great job. Everyone is really excited about you participating, and we're learning a lot about you, okay? But is there something else that you think the Tiegerman students and staff should know about you that we don't already know about?
All right. Yes, there is. I'm one of the best. One thing people don't know about me is I want everyone to know that Tiegerman is the best school ever. When I started here, I was 4 years old and nonverbal. Because of Tiegerman's amazing staff helping me all this time, I am able to speak and do things that my doctors said I could.
Well,
And here I am speaking.
Josie, thank you for sharing that. And I just want to say we appreciate, those kind words, but we did this all together. It was your hard work, your parents' hard work, your family's hard work, and the school's hard work, and we did it together. And so we're so very happy to see you grow, and we expect great things from you when you eventually get to the high school, whenever that's going to be. And so we just know that we do this together, and we're so proud of you. And I just want to thank you again for giving us some of your time and for being our first student interview on Tiegerman Times Goes Live. How do you feel about that? First interview.
Excited.
All right, wonderful. Thank you so much. And I know that in the future, well, I'm hoping that we're not in the remote world for too much longer, right? We're hoping to go back to school. But if we are for a little while longer, I hope to reconnect with you again. And if there are any updates, I'll check back in with you and you could share with the Tiegerman community how you're doing, okay?
Okay.
Have a great rest of your day and have a great weekend, okay?
You too.